You guys see it, I'm in my garage. I'm always shooting these videos in the most funkiest places to switch it up a little bit, right? Well, truth is that I'm really just trying to pump out this content and get as much information to you guys on the same days of the week. That way we're consistent, right? Because a lot of our followers just really look forward to seeing my face and seeing what I have to say. So I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. And in today's video, I'm gonna be going over the top 3 areas in Albuquerque that are currently family oriented, affordable, got parks, I mean, amenities and convenience galore, and they're all under $400,000. So if you're interested in that, stick around, grab your pen and your pad, because it's about to get interesting. Let's go. I just recently had somebody tell me that I needed to stop promoting fishing and hunting and all this stuff. And I thought it was pretty crazy and absurd because a lot of you guys actually connect with me over fishing. And just to kind of show you my corner here in the garage of my fishing gear to show you that we're legit, right? Like this bag here is my grandfather's bag, super important to me. I'm actually glad that he passed that down to me before he passed away. But just a glimpse into my life to show you that everything that I talk about in these videos, I've either lived through it, have, experienced it, and I just would want to pass it down to you from an authentic point of view. Like, I'm not somebody that is making this stuff up or finding different stories. I may relate and use other people's stories because I've helped them through a situation living here in this city, and I think it'd be a ton of value to you guys. But if you guys are brand new to this video, welcome. My name is Eli. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos, because we are dropping videos like this talking about what New Mexico has to offer to anybody that's looking to call this place home. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell. And then also, aside from doing all these great videos, guys, and bringing as much information as possible to you guys every week, I am a licensed broker here in the state of New Mexico, and I have a team that helps me out with every process from purchasing to selling houses to helping you guys find rental properties. If you guys are interested in that and you want the help, you want to make that move super easy and seamless, or you're looking to sell a house here locally, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. And I love talking with my hands, but I would also love to help you out with your real estate needs. So if that's you, feel free to reach out, call or text at any time, because I love to connect with you guys. When I was putting this list together, I was really thinking about the different people that are looking to move here and the more important things that they're, in search of when it comes to finding some of these areas. And of course, amenities, style of houses, age of houses, all of that came into the mix. But in all reality, I understood that it was first and foremost the affordability aspect. And with the average home price all across the United States being closer to around $450,000, I said, I can do better, and let me help people find houses that are, some houses in this price range, guys, are like, it's unbelievable that you can purchase this. I had conversations this past week with a few people that said, man, that's amazing that I can actually purchase a house like that in this area. It's like, why don't more people know about this? And the truth is, like, every one of these people told me is that you're doing something that is helping a ton of people. Please don't stop, because there's just not enough information out there for us to understand that Albuquerque exists and it's an opportunity for us, right? So first and foremost, thank you guys that watched this video, but this list is not composed in any way, shape, or form to favor one over the other. Really, I just wanted to make sure that I can bring this information to you guys. But first on this list is going to be Ladera Heights. Now, the Ladera Heights, what does it have to offer for anybody that's looking to move down here? And number one, it's convenient and it's established, and it's on the west side of Albuquerque. So yes, you are going to have to travel across the river, especially during those high traffic times. But to be honest with you, it's super close to the freeway that, like, it's gonna be not so much of a headache to live on this side of town, because literally, like, the freeway is gonna be just like less than 5 minutes down the road from you. So as soon as you get off the freeway, crossing that river right there on that first exit on Coors, you can pretty much make it to your house on Ladera Heights within like 5 to 10 minutes. So pretty cool, convenient. There's a ton to offer in this area, and it's just growing, right? Because it's close to 98th, which is expanding. You got a ton of restaurants that have came to that side. You got Whataburger, Dutch Bros, Panda, you got the Lowe's, gas station that has an actual Denny's attached to it. I mean, you name it, there's just so much coming to that side of town. And then of course, the reliable Coors and I-40, and you have the neighborhood Walmart in this neighborhood. Like, there's so much different things coming to this area that anybody that's looking to move here, especially if you got young kiddos or even older kiddos, there's gonna be so much to offer as far as convenience. If you need like an ER or an urgent care, there's a few of those within minutes of your home. So another thing that I like to point out is that it's also close to a bunch of different parks, right? You got Mariposa Park, which isn't too far from here. You got the Boca Negra Canyon, the petroglyphs, the 3 volcanoes, a bunch of different trails that connect you to the Bosque. Like, there's so much value here. And if you're an avid golfer, the Ladera Golf Course, which is a city golf course, and honestly, it's one of the more predominant golf courses that people go to on the west side, a super popular one, is gonna be like minutes away from your house, so you can literally just walk to this place. It's pretty cool. And of course, being closer to the freeway, believe it or not, it's not gonna be full of a bunch of road noise. And some of these houses in this neighborhood are like tucked away, so you're not gonna get a ton of that noise from the freeway. Now, you'll hear some of it, but honestly, it's like white noise, and I personally like falling asleep to that, so it does help me to hear some of that white noise throughout the night. But super conveniently placed, super close to the freeway. You got a ton of amenities, and really, guys, you can purchase a house in this neighborhood for around, $350,000, sometimes even less. Now, the next area, guys, that I want to talk about is going to be crossing over the river, and it's going to be an area that I really recommend for anybody that's looking to call this place home for the first time. Even though you've probably visited a few times, it's different when you actually have to start living here, and really getting the layout of the land, from a visit, like on a vacation, isn't going to be enough, right? So first and foremost, I recommend that people look into the Northeast Heights. Why would I recommend this area when some homes get past $500,000? Well, because there's some pockets in this area, and it's a general area. When you're a local here and you say the Northeast Heights, it really means just like this northeast quadrant of living on the east side, in between I-25 and I-40. So really that quadrant, maybe a little bit more central past Uptown, but in our reality, that sometimes even gets looped in the Northeast. But coming back, this area is gonna offer everything that you could possibly want and need when it comes to amenities. So you are gonna have like hospitals, shopping, dining, Uptown, Windrock, Coronado. You're gonna have places like Mountain Run, Tanawan Golf Course, the also Canyon Golf Course, I think is what it's called. I'm not an avid golfer, as you guys can tell, so I'm not promoting these golf courses because I want you to live in a golf course community or anything like that. It's just that I know some of these people that watch these videos find these things interesting, and with these types of sports becoming more popular nowadays, a lot more people being interested in them. And I know being conveniently located to some of these places is super huge for a lot of people, right? Like, if you just want to hit the golf course, I know I've done this a few times and I'm nowhere good, but just taking the load off, hitting the driving range before you go home, it's awesome. It's pretty cool. But really, Northeast Heights is going to be a mixture of urban with suburban, not to rhyme or sound like a rapper, but it's really going to offer best of both worlds, guys, because you're going to be in the middle of the Rio Grande and the Sandia Mountains. So both of these areas are about 15 minutes away from you, and you don't have to do any freeway driving, which this past week I found out is super important to a lot of people. So if you're one of those people that just likes to stay off the main highways and you just want to do just, regular street driving, regular avenues, regular streets, like whatever you want to call it, anything other than freeway driving, this area is going to be for you, because you can access all these different things without ever getting onto the freeway, even though you're going to have a convenience to getting on these freeways that is going to be easily accessible from anywhere in this area. So if you're somebody that just is looking to call this place home and you're looking for convenience, but yet you want to still experience Albuquerque as a whole, this is probably one of the better areas. And you're probably thinking that it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. And of course, like this video title says, these homes are under $400,000. And in reality, the price of a home in this neighborhood is going to cost you around $350,000. And a little bit of a disclaimer, of course, the closer you get to the mountain, the more expensive the homes get, even though last year we sold a house in the foothills for under $250,000. Now, it was a fixer-upper and needed some love, but it was a great townhouse on the foothills, and literally as soon as you walked outside of the door, the mountain view was to your right-hand side, and it was like you can walk there. Our last neighborhood on this video, guys, is one that I talk about very regularly outside of the Northeast Heights, being that this neighborhood is on the west side. It offers a ton to people as far as like bang for buck. Now, you can purchase a house for under $400,000. Now, some houses are a little bit bigger than others and newer, but in general, Ventana Ranch is gonna be a newer part of Albuquerque, like when it comes to affordability aspect, because I just can't stress enough how valuable to anybody really who is looking to call Albuquerque this side of town is, and it just gets missed a lot. Maybe because it's tucked away in the corner on the west side and there's really not much out there, but it's still conveniently located less than 15 minutes away from Costco, the Cottonwood Mall, Best Buy, Home Depot, Walmart. Like, there's a ton of amenities that are relatively pretty close to this area. So if you're gonna be worried that maybe living in more of a suburban kind of area in Albuquerque is gonna make it such a huge commute to get to these things, I honestly wouldn't even really think about that. But again, with suburban neighborhoods, you are gonna have more parks, more trails, more things to do outside. It's gonna be more family orientated. You're gonna have some of the latest and greatest schools, newer schools. Like, this area is just growing, and I tell people the only reason why the west side is growing is because we're capped out everywhere else. Like, the west side is the only way we can build. You got both pueblos kind of capping us out on the north and the south side, and then you have the east mountains that obviously nobody's gonna build on the mountaintops. Nobody can. It's not doable. Like, that's how steep the mountain is. But if you're looking for somewhere that is gonna be peaceful, quiet, off of busy streets, and not a ton of people commuting there, like really the only people that are going up there are the residents, Ventana Ranch is gonna be for you. And plus, like I said, you're gonna get more bang for your buck, more modern homes, so you ain't gonna have to deal with like these issues that older homes would have, or some of these features where the ceilings are low, narrow pass-throughs and all that stuff. The homes are gonna be way easier to modify if you need to. Like last year, we had a gentleman that needed to modify the doorways to make them more accessible, because you know, some of these older houses we were looking at on the east side where they originally wanted to look at were either brick or adobe, or were just not gonna fit his needs, right? So when we looked in Ventana Ranch, the last place that they were actually looking in, they fell in love with the area, number one, because of the HOA. The HOA, I know some people are against it, some people are for it, but when you're driving through this neighborhood, you'll understand that there's a sense of pride in the whole neighborhood as far as keeping it clean, making sure the trails are, you know, well kept and all that stuff, the roadways, the parks, like all of it, guys. Like, there's a pride of ownership living on this side of town. But once they started walking the house, they seen that it was easier to modify, for one, and it just made more sense. Like, the houses were built for people that, I don't know, they either needed an extra space, like an office, so there was like houses with 4 bedrooms, or the rooms were just an ample size and didn't feel like they were like boxed in these smaller bedrooms that these older homes had on the east side. So if you are opposed to older homes and you want to live in somewhere that's a little bit more suburban, off of busy streets and all that stuff, Ventana Ranch is going to be for you, especially because they have tight-knit communities, so all the neighbors are pretty close when it comes down to living in your little pocket up there. Now, these areas aren't the only areas that you can purchase a house for under $400,000 here in Albuquerque. And as much as I hype these places up, there's other areas that I'd like to introduce to you guys, but there's too much to put in just one video. This would be like a 10-hour video if we sat here and did it, and honestly, halfway through, I'd tap out. But if you guys are wondering, what other areas are there in Albuquerque that could fit my wants and needs, or my price range, or if you're just looking to rent first, guys, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. And as much as I love doing this, talking with you guys, hyping up the city, and just really connecting with you guys, which I really appreciate you guys staying on this video for that long if you made it to this part. If you're wanting to learn more, if you want a free guide, there's a link in the description down below. or you can just call or text me at any time. I am the one that answers all the calls and all the text messages, all the emails, and whenever I connect with people through this channel and I hear your guys' stories, it makes doing these videos that much more worth it. And thank you to everybody that I connected with this week. If you're watching this video, you guys inspire me to continue to do this. So thank you to our audience, thank you to our subscribers. A lot of you people still are not subscribed to the videos. I don't care if you're a local or somebody that is looking to move here from out of state. I'd love to help you out. But I'm gonna get back inside. It's Friday night and I'm a pretty boring guy. I like to stay at home. I'm a homebody. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I mean, what else is there to do on a Friday night? I mean, I could work out, but I think I'm just going to relax. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.